A third of all the food we produce worldwide goes to waste.
Delicious.
That waste would weigh 1.3 billion tonnes. Just a quarter of that would easily feed all of the world's hungry people. And in rich countries like the UK and in America, over half of the food waste takes place in the home by us. It wasn't always like this. During and after the Second World War, food was rationed and there was a widespread culture of wasting nothing.
But this ordinary shopping street has been the scene of a revolution, a social revolution caused by the war.
And even after that, our food culture in the UK was one that lent itself to wasting less. When I was a kid, meals consisted almost exclusively of meat and 2 veg. Sausages, burgers, a meat pie. On Thursdays in the winter, I would get stew with dumplings. On Fridays, it would be stew without dumplings. How hard would it be to make an extra helping of dumplings? The point is that although the food was uninspiring, it didn't create a lot of waste. With meat and 2 veg, you simply used up all the veg you had and that was that. But then in the UK, a food revolution happened. Suddenly we were surrounded by ideas and recipes for great food. We had celebrity chefs with their TV series and their cookbooks. We had a wave of fine dining restaurants, inspiring us to care about the best local produce. And we started to eat differently. New ingredients, more complex meals with layers of flavour and texture, and it was fabulous.
Dill and fish go brilliantly because it's got that really nice sort of fennel flavour.
And then the internet arrived, and suddenly food celebrity was democratised, and we had a new wave of influencers encouraging us to eat differently. YouTubers and Instagrammers and bloggers. Suddenly we can dip into 20 different food cultures at will, or embrace plant-based diets, or avoid gluten, or whatever it is we want and need to do.
Recipe videos for indulgent desserts.
But all this progress comes at a cost. If we want the good stuff, and I know that I certainly do, then we have to accept that this new way of eating simply creates more waste.
Use 2 tablespoons of cream. Serve with a handful of leaves. Whisk free egg whites. For most of us, those sorts of instructions that you find in countless recipes means food waste. But it is possible to cut the waste. You just have to be a little bit organised. 1. Look ahead. Identify what waste is going to come out of that recipe you're cooking tonight and work out how and when you're going to use the things you have left. If you stick it in the fridge and you don't have a plan and a date when you're going to use it, it's probably going to get thrown out. 2. Know how to keep things in good condition. Lots of things freeze well, but you might need to do something to them to make the most of them. Other things won't freeze, but can be stored in water or should be cooked and stored. 3. Identify a number of staple recipes designed to use stuff up. Things like spaghetti puttanesca that will hoover up olives and anchovies and capers. You know what things you most often throw out. Find the things that you like that depend on those items. But here's the message that's specifically to you if you're a food blogger, an author, a food vlogger, or even a celebrity chef.
What a dick.
You inspire people, you motivate them, you help shape the behaviour of thousands upon thousands of eager home cooks. You're part of the context for the people that follow your recipes.
So just as an exercise, I looked at the 5 most recent videos of the top 10 British food vloggers. There are some great recipes, some fantastic videos. This isn't name and shame in any way. But here's a list of the potential food waste that could come out of those videos depending on the quantities that you did of whichever recipe it was you were following.
You can play a part in identifying what waste might be left with any of your recipes, giving advice on how to deal with it. Just 30 seconds at the end of your video, or drop it in while you're whisking something or frying something or whatever it is you're doing. Or if that's too intrusive, just add a few notes with how to deal with the waste on your website, or put a link under the video, or put some notes under the video. Simple. And that's it. Those little snippets add up to a constantly reinforced message to look ahead, store things well, build a waste-busting repertoire.